In 1968, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down the regulation as being contrary to the legislative goals of the Aid to Families of Dependent Children, known as AFDC. The AFDC program established by what? The Social Security Act of 1935. Now, why didn't Candace Owens tell you that it was President Roosevelt who created the Social Security, who created welfare? Because AFDC was part of the Social Security Act. We're going to look at the Social Security Act of 1935 in just a minute. Okay, I'm a historian. All right, so I ain't one of these sensationalist people. You know, everybody has a do a podcast. I started doing podcasts in 2010 before people even knew what the hell it was. Okay, I was doing blog talk radio before people knew what blog talk radio was. I've done nationally syndicated radio. I've done traditional terrestrial radio with an FCC license for 7 years here in Detroit, 910 AM WFDF. Then on WCHB 1200 AM with my frat brother Angelo Henderson. I did a recurring segment on his show for a year. So I've been in radio 14 years. Okay, I still do podcasts, but I was doing that before anybody knew what it was. So, and I'm a historian, so the type of information you're going to get from me is a whole lot different than what you're going to get from a lot of these sources out here. So the AFDC program established by the Social Security Act of 1935, Candace Owens didn't tell you that, provides benefits to the children of impoverished parents. In the U.S. Supreme Court case of King versus Smith, 1968, King versus Smith, 1968, the U.S. Supreme Court entertained a challenge to the man in the house rule brought by the 4 children of Miss Sylvester Smith, who was a widow. The children were denied benefits by Dallas County, Alabama, welfare authorities based on their knowledge that a man named Williams was visiting Miss Smith on weekends and had sexual relations with her.